Hello, Brian.
Yeah, yeah. How's it going?
All right, how are you? I hope you were able to take some time off to recharge during the holidays.
Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't muted. Yeah, it was. Yeah, holidays were real good. Yeah, I did. Saw some family, and then whole family went to Disney World. So we had a.
That's great. That's great. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
Brittany,
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year.
So I guess we can go ahead and get started. Um, so trying to remember where we were. Um, so in terms of stuff that I've done over the break, I've started working on formatting things that are outside of Google Docs in order to try and get this into a if not shippable, reviewable form for people outside the group. So I took the doc. Let me. Not a lot to share really. So I took the doc. I pulled it into Word. Started working on table labels, cross references, and stuff like that. Kind of did like a basic set on a flight, and then re-uploaded it. Pulled it into put it into Google Docs, and then re-downloaded it to see what was preserved, what we can work on, things like that. Because the Google Docs themselves does not handle itself does not handle cross references and tables and stuff like that. All that tables of content, stuff like that, as well as or if at all, in some cases, Microsoft Word. I'm not 100% sure what exactly was preserved in that kludgy process. I'm still messing with. I think the it looks like the table of contents was fine, but if we do cross references in Word and for figure numbers and stuff like that that are automatically generated, I think that survives the transition from Word to Google Docs. So all the numbers and stuff stay there, but all of the metadata is gone if you try and pull it back out. So all the automatic numbering and stuff. So if we needed to add a number, add another figure, we'd have to go back and manually renumber everything or re-implement all of that, I think. So ideally this is a one-time process. Or we either that or we do something like we start saying at some point the Word document version is the golden version, and that we just use Google Docs or whatever as comment vehicles or something like that. We don't actually edit the Google Doc anymore. We edit the Word document. I don't know if anybody has an opinion on these tech writing subjects.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe we're not going to need to modify the source file after this.
Yeah.
And therefore, the fact that it wipes things away leads to the Google version of things not being very useful. So I'm with you that maybe we should move to having Word being the source.
What is the best
Does
way of tracking changes and adding comments in the words? What did you propose?
I mean, so Word has all of those features too, right? But it does them differently. And I mean, it's not like unless you're using the Microsoft version of Teams or whatever, right? You can't live edit and comment and all that. It's the same things we were doing in Google Doc you can't do, I don't think, in Google Docs with a Word document. If I just upload the Word documents and don't make them Google Docs, then everybody can comment on those live Word documents. And I think I'd have to go check, not making it a Google Doc, but keeping it a Word document in Google Drive. I think I can, I think everything's maintained. So if people make a bunch of comments in there and then I re-download it, I can still edit it and then re-upload it, for doing the editing side of it. So that's one option. Another option is just keep two versions of the doc. I'll keep, again, Word document would be the golden version. We'll do all of the main editing in the Word document. And then for meetings and stuff like that, we generate a new version of that people can comment on for sending comments, and then we'll transcribe those into those changes into the Word document.
Oh, I'm with Paul. I think as soon as we start having multiple sources, we'll start to diverge, and keeping track of that wouldn't be easy. If
Okay.
editing the Word doc in a way that live commenting, multiple people can comment, I don't know how it would work, but it seems that would be ideal.
Okay. So I think, so if that's the case, if we're not editing two docs, we're just doing one, then the easy and we still want to keep commenting on, then we'll just do here, let me make sure this is right here. So
Are you able to upload it to the Google Drive, the Word document?
I don't I mean, I've uploaded it to Google Drive, but I think it's my local Google Drive. I'm not sure how I would access the like the ODSA Google Drive, how that would work.
The link to the document that is in the Google Drive.
Yeah, I see the I see the document, but I don't know how to get to the root folder, I guess. Is there a way to
Oh.
do that from the doc?
I think, let me.
Hmm. Sorry, I'm clicking around seeing. Okay, I
Um,
see a location listed, but I can't get to it, I don't think. And let me share. This is
mm, okay, so let me send this link here in the chat. So this should be linked to the folder in the Google Drive that is work in progress.
okay.
And the top one is our live document. And it is being recorded, so okay.
All right. So this is the test document. So I just uploaded that. Who does that show as
Well,
owner?
this is funny. The first one is also a Microsoft Word. The extension
Yeah,
is
it keeps the .docx on there, even if you turn it into a Google Doc. So it was probably originally a Word document, and then Boppy or whatever wrote it in Word, and then he uploaded it, and then there's sorry, here. Let me try. Oh, it doesn't tell you the file type. So let me click on this. See, it says opening in Google Docs here, which means it's doing kind of a background conversion, but it's not doing the full conversion because usually there is oh, it's frozen. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you'd have to do a save as Google Docs, and it would basically make a new document that has that is the full converted thing.
so when I open it on my end, the V1 file, it very much look like a Google Doc. I can't tell the difference. Even the comments. Don't know if I have an option to open it. What options to open with? It opens with Google Doc.
Let me try and re-download this and see what it does. Second.
And I see the original comments in there too. Like,
Yeah, the original comments are seem to be preserved regardless. So the table of contents is fine. Let me check the other stuff. Seems like figures work. Try to insert a cross reference and see if that. That not working. Oh, there it is. Figures, tables. Okay, yeah, they're all there. Okay, so just uploading it and then downloading it again like that. Everything seems to be fine. I think I need to probably play this a little bit more, but either way, I think if we want to just I think, and yeah, okay, yeah. I don't want to make any declarative statements on what's possible here, but definitely converting it to Google Doc breaks some things. If we do, and so we can try and move forward like this and see what happens if we run into any limitations. Just me, I'll do a version in Word, and then if I'll upload it, and then we can comment on it like normal, and then as I need to update it, I can download it, update it, and then re-upload it in order to change figures and all that kind of things. I don't know where that line is where it breaks things or like what we're giving up by not having it as a a Google Doc formatted document in Google Docs. So again, I'm not, I don't know where the boundaries are here, but we can just try and move forward and hopefully nothing breaks. But that I guess the point is, let me get the point. The point is that it wouldn't be a single document link going forward, because as we need to do figures and updates and change any other cross references, or as I add a bibliography or whatever, which are also not supported in Google Docs, there will be a new link generated. So
Um,
maybe it makes sense for us to I can keep all the versions in a folder in that drive, right? So you can see all the past versions. And then I don't know, can you make a shortcut in Google Drive? And we just have a shortcut that goes to the current version. Does that make sense?
uh, so multiple people can comment. That feature is preserved in the Google, but
Yes.
a single person can edit. That way we can make sure that we don't edit inside the Google Drive. All the edits are happening when it is downloaded.
Sure.
And it seems, and I think, what do you think about this? It seems we can avoid multiple version every time we edit because all the comments are preserved.
Well, no, it won't. We can have one active document, right? But the problem is you need to do the editing offline, right? And you're not. And so every time I download it, edit it, and re-upload it, it's a new document link.
Oh, so you're saying that if I save that link, if I bookmark that link will be broken.
Yeah, yeah. And I can I don't know, we might be able to like write protect or something, or I mean, we can put a comment at the top of the old versions this version's deprecated or something like that. But you're going to end up with old documents in the drive, or like we can delete them, I guess, too, that do not represent the current state. I mean, they have like change tracking, so I think maybe if I upload with the same name, actually, I don't know with that.
Um,
I know how to do it in Teams. How do I do it here?
I
but
was
wait,
Yeah,
why?
I think it'll allow you to overwrite the existing one if you upload it with the same name.
Wait, why we need to start editing all files with Google Doc?
So Google Docs doesn't have some of the features we need. It doesn't have um, tables and figures, cross references and bibliographies and things like that. So as
Oh,
we're getting now into like the formatting stage of this document and actually making it something that you would review and potentially publish, you need all that other stuff.
okay, understood. Okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll play with this some more. I'll try and as Paul said, kind of overwrite the one that's there and see if we can kind of keep the old link still active. And I'll try and
Let's do that right now.
make sure we're
I think we
well.
downloaded one, right?
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me try. Okay, so I edited the one that's there. There is.
Okay. It looks updated at my end. And I didn't save the previous path.
Sorry, I am traveling at the moment. I'm actually in a hotel room in Las Vegas for CES, and so the Wi-Fi here and everything and my computer setup is not the best.
Well,
So all right, I'm
welcome.
going to try and just drop the same version or same name back in and see what happens. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me double check something. Did I add a test? Yes, I did. Okay.
I can do that. Do you want me to?
Okay, it gives me the option to replace or keep.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, oh, you know what? Hold on one second. Before I do that, I'm going to generate a share link off of the one that's already there so that I can get back to it.
I have the original file opened. Save the link.
Okay. Okay, I replaced it. It actually popped up with a versioning, so I think we can probably still see old versions. Let me see if the old link works now.
Uh,
Yes, so the old link gives me the new document. So that'll work then. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. So we just have to keep the name the same, and then I can download, make changes, re-upload, replacing the existing file. And here, let me look at the change tracking. Let's see what it does. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see when I go to manage versions, I see the old ones. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the old versions are kept for 30 days or so. So that'll probably fine.
Yeah,
So
I
hopefully
think.
we find out we broke something within within a month.
But we see the editing. Okay, the history. Let me. Oh, the history only goes back to today. Okay, so we will lose the history.
Are of the old edits for the doc? Yeah, probably. Yeah. We should have the old comments and stuff. Let me see if I can turn
yeah,
off
the
comments.
comments stay, but the history alters.
Yeah, I see all the resolved comments and stuff, which we've been usually trying to track, changes with those two.
Okay, let me see if there is a problem with the ODSA. Everyone who contributed at the end has to sign some sort of release form. So I wonder if the history has some administrative importance. Mm, okay, so functionally, this is this would work for us. Let me check with Anu and Jawad how we can address the administrative needs.
So we can definitely keep the old version that we've been working with, right? In order to keep those names and change track changes.
So this is, for example,
If
what
we
I'm thinking. Like today, someone joins and contribute to the file.
Well, how are they contributing is the question. Are they leaving comments? Because if they're leaving comments, the comments all stay.
Yes. Okay. So we can say we leave the comments, but if you download and upload, we won't see that changes.
You
Oh,
won't see the change tracking from the editing perspective if someone
yeah.
goes in there and starts editing the document.
If
It
I
will be.
download it and edit it offline,
You lose the edit history.
yeah.
I mean, we will need to eventually add a table of contributors and stuff like that to the document. We could just do that now. And actually, I don't know how ODSA does it, or open OCE or whatever we're calling ourselves now. I don't know whether, because I don't think the other documents technically have like an authors section. But that's something, I don't know if that's forbidden or not. But like,
So,
most of
so
the like
this
I
is
used to work on Chrono specs, and we would in one of the appendices, we would just list everyone. If you'd come to a meeting and done more than said hi, then you got your name put in like a contributors appendix at the end. And we just do that. And so you have that list, regardless of what happens with the edits.
we can do that. I don't think I've seen names in other ODSA documents, so I don't think there is, or maybe there is white paper. But so this is what ODSA is trying to prevent, that company X puts a feature in the standard and does not it has licensing.
Sure.
And so I think that the point is that all the features that are in the standards has to be open. And if a company with licensing has put any feature in there, that needs to be opened. Mm, and the history would be helpful from that end, that everybody who had anything in the history would sign that. Or if they wouldn't sign, Bobby said that at some point they needed to go over the history and every contribution that they had was taken out.
Okay. Well, as long as we're not doing any kind of editors, no more than, as long as you're doing as long as you're not doing more than one editor, then it's unlikely somebody would just write something in there. I guess the one problem that we do not do is, if somebody suggests something on a call, we don't keep track of who suggested what.
I think that was okay. That only the written history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're going to keep the comments. So you have all. So if somebody puts something in there that's a comment, then I think we're fine. It's just direct edits. If somebody makes a direct edit and we don't see it for some reason, then that would be potentially an issue.
And I'm inclined to do it write protect that you said. If you can do it read only.
Yeah, let me see if that what. Well, we can definitely
Comment.
generate a share link that is comment only, right? I don't know. Let's see what happens if I try and write protect the document itself.
I think that is uh, the admin who shared it with me. I think everybody has
Security limitations.
access.
Okay, this is something I think we'll probably have to. If they gave a how-to on how to do that, I guess let me know. I don't.
To do the read only, or comment only. The
I
admin.
mean, I can definitely. I know how to generate a link that's comment only. That's really obvious. I think, but for the document, like once everybody, if somebody has like an edit link, I don't know how to restrict the document to one editor outside of the share link itself. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way actually. Um,
I can manage members.
can
I
you just select people who can edit and who can't?
Yeah, I can do contributor and um, commenter. So I think everybody are today have access, all the members. I can change that to commenter. And okay, so let me do that. Would that work
Okay.
for everybody on the call? Is that okay? Or maybe I can keep us contributor. Well, I can actually see who can contribute. So, and we need to sign the release.
Where you get is that a list I can see as well? Is that
Uh, it's because I'm a manager, I think. But
okay.
if you go to the let me share my
Oh,
uh, okay, let me share my screen.
yeah, if I go to generate a share link, it gives me a list of people. There are a lot of people on here that are listed as editors.
Uh, this is what I see. And yeah, format hub. Manage members and these.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have a much better, much deeper view.
think outside, I'm gonna leave these two commenter. And Rom can access viewer. Okay, so I think that that is something we can work with. And we have the original Google Doc that Floppy has, and that one has all the history. And from this point in time, only these people um, can change the content.
Okay.
Bonchang, do you think Intel would sign such release, or if not, I can change you to commenter as well.
I don't think so. Intel will allow me to sign something to do to wow. The UCIe chair will not allow me to sign.
Okay, so I made you a commenter, and I
Yeah.
So we have Anu, you, and Jawad, and Paul, and Ron. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, but from functional perspective, you didn't want anybody to actually edit that file. Is that right? No, but we could edit it. We don't want to, right? Like typo.
Yeah, well, I
it.
think the problem is if you have multiple editors and we break something, it's really hard to figure it out at this stage. So yeah, so I don't.
Okay, so
I think it's best if you want to leave you can have as many commenters on it as you want, but in terms of actually editing text, I think at this point we really just need one person.
okay, so let me do that. Um,
Which is kind of what we've been doing the last month or two anyway.
yes, okay. So that would basically be Paul and Ram. The rest to have editing access are admins. And you have, okay, awesome. Okay, so mode of editing would be Google Doc. Are we close on this?
I think so. I think so.
One thing, sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Well, no, you go ahead first.
I remember there was some discussion the last meeting of last year on link repair, and we really,
Yep.
someone else brought it up, and I'm not sure
We made some notes in the document about it. Basically, we have a field for indicating which lanes are bad, and then basically say, use the BOW spec for determining link repair strategies, knowing which lanes are bad. So we don't actually we don't communicate repair. We communicate what repair needs to do, and then you use the BOW spec to determine how what the repair lane order is or whatever. I think there was some confusion that we needed to communicate more information there, because some people may have different strategies, or I think there was also some discussion about how much information the BOW spec communicated. Somebody else, I think, mentioned there might be an alternate repair strategy in some cases, but I don't remember what that particular conversation was. But then
Yeah,
the consensus was that we had enough information.
yeah. I mean, the issue is we have customers that would like to use some of the spare lanes, FEC and aux as data lanes. And so there is a mode where one of those is used as data and one is remained as a spare. And so that kind of breaks what the spec says you're supposed to do to repair things. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. Like we handle this with like non-standard messages. So we're perfectly happy with the way things are written right now. I'm just saying that I was the one who brought up this kind of, well, just because you know which one's broken doesn't mean you know exactly what to do, because I have this working example that where we do something drastically different than what the spec says. So I know that's going to come up with other people as well. And so I'm okay with the way things are now because, again, we handle it like in a proprietary manner. But, just because the spec says, you move the lower half up and the upper half down or whatever it is, right? That doesn't work for everybody.
Okay.
But
And you feel that that is something that does not need to go in the spec. That's
That's right. That's a level of detail, I think. That's an implementation thing that we do that's specific to our stuff. And so I don't think we as a standards body needs to handle every, different combination of things that are possible.
okay. Sounds good.
yeah, because I mean, the way that you're doing it might be slightly different with somebody else too. So it kind of falls into that camp of stuff you need to know in advance.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yep.
Okay.
I guess on
So
that same topic, I mean, we've closed out. There's like one or two small things I have left in here, but they're not really they're not contentious. They're just changes in one way some things that are presented in terms of like the local registers and things like that. But I was wondering if, and I haven't done a read through, so there's probably going to be some things that come up when I do another read through. But I didn't know if anybody else had any other topics that they need to make sure that we're not hitting in the document right now that for some reason they haven't been raised. So it sounds like most people are pretty content at the moment with the way the document is right now, but aside from
Yeah, I'm very happy.
typewriting
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, I'm very happy.
yeah, thank you, Brian. It is in a much, much better shape. Earlier this week, a couple of folks from Siemens asked for a copy of the spec. I can communicate some timeline to them for getting back to us any comment that they have. Or how do you think we can move forward? Or we can close this version and then receive their comments for the next one.
I mean, I don't have any problem taking more comments in. Like we haven't shipped anything.
Okay.
So I think there would be a question about if their comments are in the extreme, whether we actually heed any of them. but I have no problem taking more comments in. We're not closed. Again, even from a tech writing point of view, nothing's done. So yeah, there's no problem with us taking changes if we need to take changes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Well, I guess if there's nothing else, do we want to go ahead and just close for today? And I will I haven't done the time zone things, but I will be in China next week. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have conflicts or not with this meeting, but I'll let people know. And either way, I will get whatever I have uploaded in terms of reformatting and stuff like that, in case anybody into that same link we just generated there. In case anybody wants to do more review on that during the call or whatever too.
Okay, so yeah, that was actually a good point. Now we have a new link. I have communicated that to others. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Take
Okay.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.